the passion. Now, I'll tell you, I would rather see Donald Trump in America than any Chinese premier. Any Chinese premier that ever lived. Do you know what I mean? There's no Donald Trump. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he's not getting his citizens and transporting them off to hospitals for organ donations. It's not happening.
Content over everything.
That's not happening in America. It's happening in China. It's definitely happening in China.
Do you think there might be a war with China pretty soon between America and China?
Well, I'm delighted Trump stepped up the plate to China and said, hey, we're going to deal. We're going to start. And I'm not promoting the art of the deal. Far from it. I am far from promoting the art of the deal. But Donald Trump is going to make the Chinese government learn how to deal. They don't know how to deal. If China has a market collapse tomorrow on the economy picture, China won't be able to recover because they've never had a meltdown. They've never had a Wall Street of the 20s or 1987 when there was a Wall Street crash. China haven't experienced that. Wait and they do experience that. China are going to go like, whoa, what do we do here?
Isn't there a reason why China hasn't
Now,
experienced that?
Japan have, but China are so far ahead of themselves.
1990s, they did have the Asian financial crisis. Yeah,
Asian,
yeah,
but not well. China. I think China are moving
Korea.
away from Asia now. I think China believe in China. China is not part of, you know, it's there geographically as Asia, but I don't think it really believes it's part of it. China wants to be China, wants to do what it's doing. And when they have a slump in trade, you're going to see mass suicides in China. Massive suicide, because they don't know how to deal with a slump. And the Americans do, and the Brits. Personally, for me, I love Brexit. I love Brexit. I think it's one of the greatest things that's happened to European democracy, that Brexit is actually happening. Because people are fed up. How would you like to wake up every morning, look at me, and I say, Steve, by the way, just says, we have to do this today, and if you don't do it, I'm going to give you more taxes. You know what you do to Steve? You probably kill him. You probably say, I'm not listening to this guy, man. That's exactly what the EU have done to all these countries.
That sounds pretty much like most people's working day, and most people's relationship with Westminster as well. Most local governments have that relationship to Westminster, my friend. So I don't know, the criticisms you're making of Brexit,
but it's
you
not,
should make of your own government.
It's not as bad as you think. You know, a lot of people are saying, like, the British government and the taxes and how it's distributed and all that, is that it's not working. Check out the FTSE, man. The FTSE is increasing. It hasn't gone down in the 2.5 years of the fear. 2.5 years ago, everybody was saying the English FTSE, the stock exchange, is going to collapse. It hasn't. That's the fear. It's all fear factor. The FTSE has increased. So what are you telling me? You got it wrong, and you got it wrong with Trump, and the academics of this world can't accept that we got it wrong. Brexit has turned around and said to all the great financial wizards, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all of them, all over the world, has turned around and said, hey guys, we got it wrong. And Nigel Farage got it right, and David Cameron got it right, and the Remainers got it wrong. The Leavers got it right. And the academia people in this world cannot accept that. Same with Trump.
We don't know if the Leavers have got it right yet. It could go chaos.
Well, this is fear. He's lived in fear. He went to church today, and the minister said, live in fear. He's a Catholic, and he went to church today, and you said...
You know nothing about me.
Yeah.
I went to church. What are you talking about?
You're full of fear.
I'm not full of fear.
You're full of fear.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You're conditioned by fear. And that's what's happened. And the Trump boys, Trump woke up America to say, this is what happens when you rest on your laurels, when you do nothing but just sit back and take it easy and make sure you get well paid off and make sure you get well greased and make sure you get well oiled. And Trump came along and went into the Midwest America and woke people up and acknowledge that there's people in the Midwest of America who are Americans are actually living. And he spoke for those people. And the Clintons didn't do it, and they made a big mistake. Because Donald Trump, I guarantee you, as I sit here, or as I stand here, he'll get another 4 years. Because there's no one going to take on Trump. And we better get used to it.
What do you think of Trump's dismantling of the Environmental Protection Agency in America?
A bit silly. Absolutely. I go with the climate change things. I go with certain things that he's a bit of a loose cannon, and he's a bit of this, and he's a bit of a twit for being on Twitter all the time. I get that, but that's his way of communicating. So you have to. He's not a diplomat. He's not a politician. He's a real estate developer in Manhattan, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean, man? He knows all the angles.
But don't you think that's a critical point when you go into being a diplomat and a politician?
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. But
That's why people voted for him. They're so sick of politicians.
But see, they're so sick of politicians. That's why Trump came in and he spoke. Even the regular crew like Sanders, and I mean, he dismantled the 7 Republican guys on the panel every night. Marco, you never hired anybody. This guy, you never hired. I mean, he dismantled these people.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Bernie Sanders. Did you know that the Democratic Party conspired to stop him from becoming the...
I would imagine so,
Yeah.
because they wanted to see Clinton be the first woman, so it'd make them look good. Sound bites, and it didn't work.
Do you think if Bernie Sanders was their nomination, do you think he might have appealed to the
He
American
would have
people
made
lot
a much better outcome.
Than Trump,
Yes.
than Trump as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, in 2016,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. If Bernie Sanders had gone the front runner for the Democratic Party, it would have been tighter. It definitely would have been tighter.
Also, I have to go back to your question. You mentioned, I asked my question about China and America going to war. I don't know if you know, but
Well, trade wars, they won't go to fisticuffs.
I think it could escalate though, because I read last week a few weeks ago in the Financial Times, last year in October there was a near collision between an American and Chinese warship.
Yeah.
By mistake. I mean, it doesn't take much to escalate from that, doesn't it? Really
I don't think so. No, there'll be trade wars. It'll be a bullish market, which we need. It's been a bullish market for the past 10 years, so it's going to continue on as a bullish market, because that means there's money floating around. You don't want to go to a bear market, because it's going to be slow. It's going to be it's going to be indecision, fear, etc., etc. So it's going to stay bullish, which means there's going to be money moving around, which is pretty good. You need money moving around.
Even with the trade war, surely that would dry up trade.
Yeah, they'll come to some agreement, because they have to. China already 2 years into their options. They're already 2 years into manufacturing ahead. They have to come to an agreement, and that's the beauty of that's the beauty of options. If you want to get into the markets, the options do, because there's a lot of money to be made in options. So
Can I ask you a question about Brexit?
Quick.
I detect a bit of a Northern Irish twang in your...
No, I'm born in Ireland. I was born in Dublin. I lived in New York and LA, and now I'm doing a bit of traveling.
So what do you make of the backstop sort of crisis here? I heard about a buffer zone being set up possibly between...
You were talking about politicians in Ireland. I'm going to tell you something very ironic here. A solution to a problem in Ireland is stay in the problem at all costs. That is an Irish politician. They are fucking clueless. Absolutely fucking clueless. There's your poster guy. That's okay, kid. But that's Irish politicians for you. A solution to a problem in Ireland, stay in the motherfucking problem. Because they wouldn't be able to have 1-on-1. They'd fuck it up. And with that, I'll get someone else up here. Thank you. That's Speaker Corner for you. Hey, no problem.
Thank you very much for that.
Hey, no problem, bro. I can't shake with my right hand because I've got a bit of...
Yeah, no worries. Take it easy. Careful behind you, man. I'm going to just wait for this wind because I don't want to fall off my ladder. Can I ask who you're recording?
Content over everything from your humility. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
You can see a person believes in his own people and his own country, even though he doesn't live there. That's his consciousness. That's right. He's conscious of his own culture. He's conscious
Because the majority of white people in London are devaccinated.
I know what he is.
buys into the abstract collectivism when it's suitable, but when it comes down to it, it's the biological.
I think the four of us are safely card-carrying members of the patriarchy. So, I mean,
There's no way he would say, "Oh, wipe out Vietnam." No way. No way he'd say that. So I know his position.